Hey guys, John here for the Growth Network. Today I want to be talking about culture and environments and the importance of that. Now, I didn't realize the importance of this until I would say around 5 or 6 years ago. And to give you a bit of context around this is I'm going to just sort of share the environment that I grew up in. So I grew up in a small town in New Zealand, and my parents were very hard workers. They're the hardest working people that I know, and that was handed down to them from their parents and their uncles and their aunties and so on and so on and so on. So we're a generation of really, really hard workers. My parents, obviously, like I said before, were the hardest working people that I know, and I credit my work ethic to the way that they raised us. I've always known them to work. That's what I've known. And that was similar to a lot of the people, or nearly everyone from the small town that I grew up in. They were all very similar. Along with the working hard mentality, they also partied hard. So it was a work hard, play hard type of environment that I was surrounded by. And I've known this since I was little. Every week was the same. There was always a party or something going on every weekend. We were always mixing and mingling with family, friends, cousins. We were always with our cousins and mum and dad and their friends and their cousins and uncles. They always enjoyed the weekends and just to wind down from the hard work week that they've had. You know, because life is hard. We grew up real humble upbringing, and like I said, my parents worked hard, very, very hard, and instilled that into us. So that was the sort of culture and environment that I was brought up in. Then I carried that tradition on. I worked hard and I played hard all the way through to, I would say, my early 30s. I thought that that was what you're meant to do because I didn't know any other way. And it wasn't until I went over to Australia and I was exposed to a little bit of entrepreneurial thinking within the space of being a builder or a tradesperson. Most tradies over in Australia are contractors, so they sort of own their own businesses, sole traders. That way you can charge more, you earn more, you have more flexibility with your time, and you learn about taxes, you learn about running a small business, so you're learning all these other little skills. So that sort of opened my eye to, there are things outside of just going to work and using your hands. You can actually use a bit of your, intelligence as well. So we then moved back to New Zealand. We ended up starting my own business. I still did not realize that this is all because of the environments that you surround yourself with. You are the average of the 5 most people you hang around. You are a product of your environment. What entertains you, trains you. All of these things I didn't know of. When I was younger, I was exposed to hard work, but I was also exposed to partying hard. I grew up in a small town, small thinking. I didn't want to go outside of my town. I was happy where I was. I didn't know there was a big world out there, full of opportunity. Because the circle and environment that I was in, we didn't think like that. So, fast forward to me coming back to New Zealand from Australia, started our own business. Thankfully, because of what I was exposed to in Australia. But the real turning point for me was understanding the importance of environment and culture and community was when I hurt my back about 4 years into doing our business here in New Zealand. I've always had back problems being a builder. This one was really bad when this happened. So when that happened, I needed to look for other opportunities outside of my career. And the reason why is because that's my responsibility as the father of my children and at the time partner to my wife. That's my responsibility to make sure that I'm providing for them. So I was looking for other opportunities and I got involved with network marketing. Network marketing opened my eyes to understand the importance of your environment, the importance of personal development, the importance of reading books. I never read books. The importance of listening to podcasts and learning and being mentored. I didn't know any of this stuff. although I was already being mentored from a young age, being in that circle, in that environment, you naturally follow what you're seeing. Now I expose myself to a different group of people, which are no longer in network marketing, by the way. This is not to promote anything that I'm doing. This is just sharing my experience. I was exposed to a group of people that were all positive. They were all looking for something different. They were all looking to grow and learn new things and get out of their comfort zones. You would never hear me talk about this 6 or 7 years ago because I would never have any idea. So I am forever grateful for being involved in that space because it opened my eyes to realizing that I need to put myself in certain rooms, in certain spaces, in certain environments, and surround myself with the right people. That is the importance of your environment. Your environment should be a reflection of whatever your goals and ambitions are. So if you have a goal, you want to make sure you look at your circle, the 5 most people that you hang around. You look at that circle and you think to yourself, are these guys fueling my goal? Are they adding fuel to the fire, or are they taking it away? So you need to ask yourself those questions. Sorry, someone just distracted me. And yeah, so everybody has different goals and ambitions. So you must look at the things that you're doing on a day-to-day basis, who you're spending the most time with, what environments you're putting yourself in, and ask yourself, do all of these things align with whatever your goal is? And if it doesn't, then you're in the wrong environment. You're basically going to fall into the same patterns that those people are going to be doing, or those spaces are exposing you to. So I'm going to give you an example. If you're a positive person, and then you go and hang out with your 5 best friends or whoever you hang around with the most, they're quite negative, you're slowly going to turn into a negative person because that's what happens naturally. That's what happened to me when I was a kid. I got all this hard work ethic, the way I work today, from the environment that I was exposed to, but I also picked up the traits of going to party hard during the weekend from the environment that I grew up in. And they didn't teach me that. I just looked at it and I watched them, and then I did it myself. Subconsciously, you subconsciously pick up on the things that you're exposed to. So if you're a positive person, then you want to be around positive people. People that uplift you or make you feel good. I don't know why people would want to be negative, but they are negative people. So just go and hang around with negative people. Stop bringing down the others. So if you got ambitions of being a builder, then you want to put yourself in an environment to make sure that you can achieve that. If you want to be a doctor, put yourself in that environment. Don't make excuses. All the answers to your question are in the circle that you are in. That's the importance of your environment. And I wish I knew this when I was younger. I didn't realize this until I was 35, 36. Now, I make sure that the time I spend on a day-to-day basis adds fuel to my fire, doesn't take it away. So I'm very picky with what I do most weekends. Sometimes I just do nothing. I just stay at home and I stay in my own bubble, in my own circle, and the main reason why is because I don't want to expose myself to things that are going to set me back from what it is I'm trying to achieve. And there's nothing wrong with that. That means you're not being arrogant or a snob. You just don't want to fall back into these old patterns. I love you, but that doesn't mean I need to always be with you. I love you so much. But I'm focused on what I'm focused on, so I'm going to stay over here, stay in my lane, because I'm focused. I've got a vision, and if I want to achieve what I want to achieve, I need to stay in my lane. And if you don't align with that lane, then sorry, you can carry on over there. I'm going over here. That's the importance of your environment, and it just needs to align with whatever your ambitions are and whatever your goals are. Everybody's got different ambitions and goals. So everybody's going to have a different type of circle that they want to surround themselves with. So that's my biggest, that's what I wanted to talk about today, is the importance of your environment. And for me, I grew up in a small town, I moved out of the small town, then I moved to Australia, and it just exposed me to bigger things. Now, there's nothing wrong with growing up in a small town, because I was grateful for that time that I was brought up in that environment, because that's such a tight-knit community, and we all love each other, and we always will. We always have each other's back. And that's what I appreciate most about growing up in a small town. But if you have big ambition like me, I don't know why I have big ambition, but I do, then I need to put myself in different circles and appreciate what I learned from the small town that I grew up in. So thank you very much for listening. Thank you for your support, and this is all love too. This is all love. You can change your environment. You can change the people that you surround yourself with. And I wish you all the best on your journey, whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. John Apiata, The Growth Network.